What's up everyone? Today we're going to be doing a cast testing video with my new setup here. And what you see here is the Daiwa Alphas Air TW, but I have the Roro Spool. This is the thicker spool. There's a thinner spool, but this is a thicker spool. This thing is super light. You have to check out my unboxing video of this spool. You guys check out the top right hand corner. But today we're going to be casting some super light lures. In fact, I'm going to show you the lightest lure that I'll cast today, which is this here, the Trout Magnet. Check that out, 1/64 ounce plus a small little plastic. This thing weighs pretty much at 1 gram. And yeah, for all those BFS users out there, bait finesse fishermen, which is basically ultralight bait casting, fanatics like me, this is like one of the ultimate challenge for, I guess, on YouTube, right? Because everyone knows what trout magnets are in the US. I know there's people who actually stole lighter stuff, but they have like decked out reels. A couple things to mention before I start. This is the Roro Spool with their stock bearing. This spool actually has their own bearing from Roro. It's micro bearings, but it's the stainless steel version. They actually have a ceramic hybrid one, which I have too, but I am not using that at the moment. And the bearing that's on the plate is Daiwa stock bearing. So we're basically gonna be testing this this setup with basically stock bearings from Roro and stock bearings from the reel itself. And later on in the future, I'll upgrade those bearings and we're gonna give it another shot. And today I'm actually trying a new line from Surinoya. This is a very thin line. And I actually just matched it up to my 4-pound test line of, in fact, I'll just bring it out right now. And do I still have it here? Yes, I do. I got some Trilene from Berkeley. And I wish they gave me a different diameter other than inches, but if I put them side by side, you guys probably won't be able to see it here, but I put them side by side and it looks like this is thinner stuff. And since I am trying to attempt to cast some super light stuff, I'm going to use the Surinoya line. And one more thing I want to let you guys know, these are very thin spool, okay? And it's going to be dangerous for folks to have high drag and also any sort of line that stretches, because you have a possibility of warping your spool. Most of these spools recommend to use braided lines because it doesn't stretch. For me, who's kind of you say experienced, I have my drag pretty low. Okay, so I don't think I'll run into that issue. I know there's a huge debate online. You guys feel free to debate. What do you guys prefer to use, and do you guys think it's dangerous if you are an experienced angler using mono for these thin spools? We are using the KastKing, their max steel dual tip bait casting rod, but I'm using the ultralight tip. It does have a light action tip too, but again, I'm using the ultralight version, which is rated for 1 to 8 grams, and this is a 1.8 meters with fast action tip. So yeah, this should work really well. I am double checking that everything is set properly. Again, this is an aftermarket spool. I don't want to have any play on that, so I think I just felt a little bit. So I just tighten it just a little bit. And now I'm gonna set it up to like, max 20 breaks just for the heck of it. And we're gonna get out there and just do a few casts. But look, it's actually rolling off my spool. That's crazy. The lure is rolling off my spool. All right. It's a little windy today, so I apologize for wind noise. And it looks like the wind is blowing against me, which is why you probably hear the noise. The mic is in the front. You know what? I do like the challenge. I like fishing on windy days. So let's give it a shot. First cast, it went to the left a little bit as expected because of the brakes at max, but it went out. This is pretty cool. So now we're gonna put this on 14 brakes, wing it out. It definitely got better in front of me, but it's not getting any distance. And it doesn't help with that wind. But now we are gonna put this at 10 brakes. Ooh, whoa, that does have some distance right there. But the wind is blowing again, so that's not no good at all. It did overspool just a little bit, so that's very interesting. Let's do one more cast at 10, but I'm gonna wait for the wind to die down just a little bit. You can see the clouds are actually moving very fast. So challenging day. All right, so I can get it out there, but it's no distance. That's all I have to say, man. It's not that far, but it's coming out, so it's very impressive. I'm gonna jack it to 8 brakes. So it came out very fast. and I did backlash as you see here, but it definitely got a little further than before. So I just need to figure out the casting whipping of my rod, and I might have to try a different type of rod that actually goes down to like 0.6 gram or something like that, because this is rated for 1 gram only. You want your rod actually lighter than what you were trying to cast, so you actually could do it, right? Oof. So with the wind and everything, I did over spool, so I'm gonna jack the brake up to 9. But I gotta say that distance is not bad. It's impressive. It is surely impressive. So I would say that the challenge does work with the stock bearings of the reel and the spool. So the next time I come out here, I will try this again, and I will have to put, you know, the other bearings on. That's the only way to see if this thing actually, you know, get the nice far distance that everyone wants. One last cast at 9 though. All right, that's more controlled, but I don't see this thing go over like, I don't know. Looks like maybe 10 yards. No, 10 yards might be too much, but all right, this is what we do, okay? It went that far. I'm just gonna fold this up just like, oi, 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 oi. All right, so I had a hit a second ago. That's interesting. What I was gonna do is I was gonna pull this back and see how much line I have, but it looks like it's not happening. So still over spooling here because the wind was blowing a little bit. But, you know, I think this is fun. Now I'm gonna go around and catch some fish and see if I could do it. All right. This is some light stuff. If I put a stop on, like a float on, I definitely will be able to wing this out very far, this Trout Magnet. But I'm seeing if there's anything in this area because the wind is blowing and I overspooled it just a little bit. So I better fix that and twitch this back. But having this lure this light in these shallow ponds, it will be amazing fishing these stuff. But, oh, I just spooked a bass out right here. I'm gonna see if I can intercept them. Nope, he want nothing to do with it. All right, that is a good distance. And I am still at break 9. And I think it helps that the wind is blowing that way just a little bit. But yeah, this here, definitely very nice. Awesome spool. Wow, see, that's good distance here. I definitely want to go back over there and try to cast, but the wind is relentless there, so it's really throwing off my measurement. But right here with the wind a little bit kind of blocked, not bad. I'll do like one more cast and then I'll move around and then hopefully, oh no, the accuracy, no. Yeah, the accuracy is a little off for me because it's very light lure, and that was kind of like an overhand cast. My timing is totally off because I'm still new to this reel and then this light lure and this, you know, rod. But I'm quite impressed. And so far with the backlashes, I haven't gotten line in the spool at all. Very impressive, folks. Very freaking impressive. So the wind here is pretty darn bad, but I'm still gonna cast here anyway. And I'm not gonna count that because I didn't see where it splashed due to all the ripples. So I'm gonna try again. And it is backlashing, and I'm focusing, looking at my reel, and I can't tell where I'm freaking hitting. I just want to give you guys a number and say how far this goes. And I would say that's only 30% from here to there to the water fountain. Oh yeah. Definitely need just a little bit more drag. Oh yeah. But yeah, if I was 30% to there is 71 feet, so do the math, it's about 21 feet distance. Oh yeah. There's a bluegill. Dude, you can see this drag go, even with a bluegill, because I put it that low, because I don't want to destroy my spool. It makes these panfish fight really well too. So let me put this softly down. I have never been so careful with my reels until this JDM reel. Oh no, looks like someone destroyed his mouth. Let me just unbuckle you very quick, and off you go. No pictures, not especially with you know, your lip like that. But yeah, about 21 feet out there, give or take, not too bad. The wind stopped, and yeah, it's about 25–30% of the way. Ooh, guys, I reached 35% of the way. That's awesome. I'm gonna let that sink down a little bit because I think that's a good spot because the drop off's right there. And I might get like 1 or 2 more bluegills or something over there, or maybe even bass. That'd be pretty cool. But having something that light and finessing let it drop slow is the key of catching fish all day long. One last cast. It went to the left. Let's do it one more time because I didn't like that cast. But the wind is low. Okay, yep, that's about 33%, a third of the way. Very impressive reel and spool, because today was really more about the spool, right? So I can't wait to try to upgrade the bearings, change the bearings on side plate and a spool, and see if I can cast further next time. So Jimbo's gonna keep a mental note. Approximately a third of the way is how well this spool can throw this lure, which is the Trout Magnet, 1/64 ounce jig head, and that little plastic. I'm gonna definitely weigh it again at home because I wanna make sure that, you know, it is what people say it is, which is the 1 gram level. But man, I am impressed. Good job, Roro, with this spool. Because if you guys remember my Tatula, I was not happy with my Tatula. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. Just gotta fix this. Stupid wind. But that's life, guys. Once I get this knot out, but I want to show you guys, make sure, oh, it's done. I just want to see if the line actually go into the spool, because so far with both the Roro spool and the stock spool, I have not been able to get the line into the reel, which is great. And there we go, we got another one. Oh, it's a bass this time. Is what I'm talking about. Oh, aye, hit me right in my belly, my fat belly. All right, guys, the next lure we're gonna play around with is the Euro Tackle, their Z-Vibe micro version. This is their latest version, which is so much smaller than the original, and it's 1/16 ounce. All right, and we are gonna put this at 10 breaks, and let's wing it. Woo, that is good distance. I think that went approximately 40% of the way. That's not too bad. Let's bring it back in very quick because we're not here to fish. And let's try it again. No backlash, and that is 55% of the way. I winged it a lot harder because I just saw the wind kind of die down just a little bit. Very impressive, very, very impressive. And let's try it again. Oh, now you can see it over spools a little bit, and I was too focused on my line coming out of spool that I did not look at where it splashed. So I'm gonna try to cast again without looking at my spool. Hopefully it doesn't over spool. And that is so impressive. That thing actually cast maybe 65%, but it's between 60 to 65% to that water fountain. And again, that's about 71 feet where I'm actually standing at. So do the math, folks. This is impressive. I gotta say, I have never casted this thing this far. Oh my gosh, that is 65 to maybe 70, like in between that distance. This is insane. I don't know what to say, man. This is so much fun. Imagine if I were to upgrade the bearings. So keep in mind these specs. In fact, I'll probably write these specs down. Next time I come back here with the bearings upgraded, we'll see how far it casts. But that is close to 70%. May not be exactly 70. I don't want to say it is at 70 because, you know, with that wind right there, it could be pushed 70 quite easily, guys. Now, the next lure is very interesting because I made this homemade. I'm using like very light, well, it's actually a pretty heavy tungsten bead here. And I think this thing weighs under a 16th ounce. It probably weighs, to be honest, I don't know. But when you wet it, because this is a mop jig, the mop fur right there, it gets heavy. So yeah, I want to cast this first without anything. I guess I'll cast it right into the dirt. And the distance is not too bad, but the wind is blowing there. And I don't know how to measure that because I have no reference from there. But now I'm gonna cast into the wind. And the wind kind of made it really bad. I felt it with my fingers. But now that it's wet, you know, it probably goes far. But right there, second with the Trout Magnet, I think it probably went like that distance too, you know. But now, moment of truth with when it's wet, it goes further than Trout Magnet. So it's pretty cool using these mop stuff. So if you guys are interested in tying some of your small micro jigs using like, you know, mop materials, give it a shot. I have well, not really a tutorial, but I had a challenge. I went to TJ Maxx and I was trying to find materials to make some lures, and this is it. You know, I know a lot of fly anglers do it too nowadays, but this mop materials, it comes in so many different colors. You know, the bright colors are great for trout. There's actual natural colors. Heck, I even bought a whole carpet that I eventually will tear down just to make some fishing lures. So you might want to stay tuned for that. And I don't know if my wife would be happy because right now I'm sitting in one of our bathrooms, comfy, right underneath the sink, well, in front of the sink. So if you see her kicking me out or making me sleep on the couch, it's because I cut a piece off that carpet. Oh, with that wind, I overspooled. Let's see if I'm gonna, you know, get the line into the spool. Jimbo, oh, I got a fish. Oh, it came off. All right, I almost fixed it. So guys, I actually want to put my Surnoya stick bait because I've been using that for the past few testing video, and for some reason, I left it at home on my other reel setup from the other cast testing video on my Tatula and that chameleon spool. So stupid Jimbo. So I'm gonna cast a different lure, which I don't know the weight either because they actually didn't write it on this box. But I have a feeling this is like about 5 to 6 grams, which is pretty heavy, right? I'm gonna cast it anyway, just to show you guys. But I'm gonna look up I guess my AliExpress, and I look at, you know, where I purchased it, and I put it on an overlay on you know, how heavy it is. But let me just open this thing and put it on and do some cast testing. Here's a quick close-up of it. Count bass, sharp stuff. It looks pretty good, very good in fact. I love the color. I got this for, you know, fishing South Jersey. It's gonna be fun slaying some pickerels. I got some single hooks coming in, so I don't need to deal with treble hooks on pickerels. Let's put this on and let's cast it. I have to admit, tying this thing on, these are some super sharp hooks. So if you guys like treble hooks, you know, these count bass lures, specifically, you know, this one here, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's like nickel, none of those bronze type stuff. What's it called? Eagle claw crap. So it's pretty good. And since it's heavy, I'm gonna put a 10 weight first, 10 breaks first. And that is pretty good distance, but for some reason, I guess I'm too adjusted to casting it. And it looks like wind is blowing to the right too, so it's going to the right. Yeah, I was kind of adjusted to cast light lures, so let me recast this, but I'm pretty confident that I could probably do it at 8. That's 8 right here. And yeah, I'm still letting it go a little early and it's going to the right, but if I were to estimate that could be like 85% of the distance. I do feel that this spool cannot cast heavy stuff. Yeah, I see the wind and the line is bowing to the right. So yeah, let me just rotate my body just a little bit so I try to compensate. But yeah, I think this spool is great for light lures. For anything that's like under 2.5 maybe. Oh man, I saw it bow to the right. That's pretty insane. But that's 90% of the way. Very impressive with the wind going against me and to the right. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Wow. Mondo gill. Mondo gill. Come on, dude. Dude, this is insane. Like, seriously insane. Like, can you believe this? This is huge. Humongous. Like guys, take a look at this. This bluegill is bigger than my reel. That's a mega freaking bluegill. Holy smokes, guys, that's freaking amazing. All right, guys, I am back at the lab, so let's recap today's cast testing video. This Roro Spool is so amazing. It allowed me to cast that Trout Magnet so far out, and it also allowed me to cast that small little ice fishing jig, the Euro Tackle Z Viber 1/16 ounce so far. I mean, like, it's super far. The furthest I have ever cast that jig using a BFS setup. I can't wait to upgrade these bearings. Again, the Roro Spool is using the micro stainless steel bearings, which I want to upgrade to ceramic micro bearings, and the side plate uses the Daiwa micro bearing. But actually, guys, when I came back right before this conclusion video right here, I actually upgraded the bearings for you guys just to tease you guys. So check this out. Oh yeah, definitely louder because the stock bearing from Daiwa was actually a little bit lubricated, so it keeps it nice, silky smooth, yet still very quiet. But now this is upgraded, I can't wait to get back out there to do some cast testing with the ultralight lures, especially that Trout Magnet. But one thing I want to say about the heavier lures. Okay, so this guy right here, the count bass is 5 grams, and I felt like it didn't get the distance that I would expect because I've casted some heavier stick baits, and I'm able to hit that water fountain. I know that day was a little bit windy outside, so it could be just the wind. My line was being picked up going to the right, so likely it could have caused that. But I do want to cast again and see how far this goes. But it is possible that because this is a smaller diameter spool, it might be impeding in the casting distance for heavier lures. I'm not quite sure yet. If you guys have experience with this reel, leave me a comment below what you think is happening. But regardless, this reel is amazing with the Roro Spool casting those small lures. In fact, I was testing another lure. I was throwing this 3-gram popper from Sorinoya, and I caught a nice dinky bass, which I think have sparked me on using more poppers going forward. I might even change this popper to a single hook and play with it more often. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this cast testing video. If you guys are excited, like me, with the upgraded bearings, with the ceramic hybrid bearings, micro bearings, make sure you guys stay tuned for that video because I'll be doing cast testing video very soon. Until next time, guys, the fish don't wait. Get out there, catch some fish.